Harlingen, the first 100 years. Before there was a Harlingen, there was the Wild Horse Desert, a thorn scrub wilderness. In the 1800s, the Paso Real Stagecoach Inn sheltered travelers at an Arroyo, Colorado ferry crossing located 8 miles north of today's Harlingen. Isolated ranches dotted the area. Lawyer Lon C. Hill crossed the region in 1902 and saw the potential for developing a town and farms. He purchased over 2,200 acres along the Arroyo, Colorado, which he saw as an asset. Hill named his town Harlingen after the Dutch port of Harlingen, which was laced with canals like his town would be. He negotiated with railroad developers to bring the St. Louis, Brownsville, and Mexico railway track through his proposed town site. Railroad crews called this area Rattlesnake Junction for the abundant game they found here. In April 1904, the Harlingen Post Office opened and the first train passed through on July 4th, heading to Brownsville. Local law enforcement officials made Harlingen their headquarters. Frequent and enthusiastic target shooting by residents and train passengers led to the new nickname, Six-Shooter Junction. Harlingen started life as a Wild West town of tents and saloons. The little town soon claimed a 10-room railroad hotel, a lumber yard, seed store, and several dry goods stores. Built in 1909 at the corner of Jackson and Commerce, the Letcherich building originally housed a drugstore and doctor's office. It's the city's oldest existing brick building. Streets were unpaved. Horses, buggies, and wagons were common sights around the new town. By 1910, with a population of around 1,000, Harlingen incorporated. A brick grammar school for Spanish-speaking students had opened in 1909. In 1912, Anglo children who had been taught in makeshift classrooms in churches and above saloons finally had a real school when Central Ward School opened on Jackson. Some kids still came barefoot. Lawless elements erupting from the Mexican Revolution brought bandit raids to the valley by 1915. To restore order and security, 2,400 National Guard and federal troops made Harlingen their headquarters. The soldiers outnumbered the residents. The military camps covered whole blocks of downtown. The 1920s ushered in an era of remarkable prosperity and growth. Land seekers came by the trainload and bought farms and planted cotton, citrus, and vegetables. The railroad brought all of the valley's fruit and vegetables to the Harlingen hub for shipping. Here, thousands of rail cars filled with tomatoes, greens, and squash were iced down. Harlingen ice plants were soon producing more ice than any other Texas town. In the 1920s, new stores, hotels, the first hospital, movie theaters, and a magnificent municipal auditorium were opened. Glamorous mansions rose on a former cotton field, now called Silk Stocking Row. The rocketing population led to new schools and public buildings. The hurricane of 1933 nearly destroyed Harlingen, demolishing the auditorium, schools, homes, and businesses. After the Great Depression, visitors began pouring into the city to spend the winter. That prompted Harlingen in 1939 to organize a tourist club. In December 1941, the Harlingen Army Air Gunnery School opened. The huge camp on Harlingen's north side trained 48,000 men in the next 4 years. The post-war boom brought another golden age to Harlingen. The new port of Harlingen docked barges filled with steel and cement. Cotton was still king. Life was good. The opening of the Harlingen Air Force Base to train navigators brought a flood of young families and prosperity to the city. A building boom brought new stores, a large Valley Baptist hospital, and modern homes and buildings. In 1960, the capital city celebrated the 50th anniversary of its incorporation. The closing of the Air Force Base in 1962 stunned Harlingen, spurring its business community to launch the Go Harlingen campaign to revive the economy. The intense efforts of civic leaders helped revitalize the town. The military runway became the centerpiece of the Valley's largest and busiest airport, today known as Valley International. The privately run Marine Military Academy, the John Connolly Texas State Technical Institute, and the original Fun & Sun RV Resort opened on former base property and were joined by the Confederate Air Force headquarters. The new Harlingen National Bank signaled the city's rebirth. In 1967, Hurricane Beulah sent the Arroyo Colorado 25 feet above normal, flooding roads and neighborhoods. Parkwood residents had water up to their roofs. Good things happened too. In 1975, Southwest Airlines chose Harlingen as its first expansion airport. In the 1980s, Harlingen, like many American cities, started a downtown revitalization and became part of the Main Street program. The city's incredible natural assets began attracting visitors from around the world when local birdwatchers launched the first Rio Grande Valley Birding Festival in 1994. In 2002, the University of Texas San Antonio Health Science Center formally opened its Regional Academic Health Center, the RAC, to train upper-level medical students. Within 8 years, the RAC was eligible to transition into a fully fledged, standalone medical school. The opening of Harlingen Medical Center and the Texas Valley VA Health Center, combined with expansions at Valley Baptist and Su Clinica Familiar, confirmed Harlingen's role as a regional medical hub. Since its incorporation 100 years ago, Harlingen has remained a crossroads. Here, through good times and bad, people of different cultures and traditions have worked together to build a strong and vibrant community. By honoring the legacy of those who came before, the people of Harlingen have set the foundation for a second century of growth and prosperity.